How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and I have two pieces of information for you guys today that I want to share. First things first, you guys may remember yesterday, I did a video where I specifically showed off, this brand new post that came out from none else than the Pokemon Company. It was specifically just them constantly saying, Malamar, Malamar, Malamar. Well, things have happened since then. Basically, the entire fucking Twitter account for Pokemon UK has changed to Malamar. It's literally, my friend Malamar is everywhere, literally. #1 Malamar fan account in the UK and Ireland, hashtag my friend Malamar for all things TCG and TCG Pocket, which makes me wonder, it makes a lot of people wonder, is this just to do with TCG Pocket then? Is that all this is about? Or is this something else? Because yesterday, the actual TCG Pocket account, I think, was also being taken over by Malamar. Now, what do we talk about? Well, basically, if we scroll down here, we might be able to see these videos that I covered yesterday. It's basically these like little like real life segments of these people just being way too excited about Malamar, like way too hyped about Malamar, a little to a bizarre degree, to be honest. Like, it's just really strange how much they're into him. But basically, there was a few videos, there was like 3 of them, with people just being obsessed with him, and now also, out of nowhere, the entire account has basically been taken over. And here it says, please be aware, this is now the #1 Malamar fan account, and then it's just the Pokemon logo upside down, which, of course, if you don't get it, if you want to evolve, or if you wanted to evolve Malamar back in like Gen 6, when I think that's when it was introduced, right? If you want to evolve, your Inkay into Malamar, you had to turn your console upside down using the console's like gyro, which is the only way to evolve the Pokemon, and that's been kind of, I think, present throughout the basically every single game since where Malamar is present or Inkay is present, is that's how you evolve it. And now the entirety of the account is taken over, and this is most likely for a Mega Evolution reveal. That's essentially what this is going to be about, I would assume. I don't know what else it could be in reference to. It's got to be the Mega, because we know from the leaks that there's supposed to be a Mega Malamar in Pokemon Legends EA. Well, here's the reality of it, guys. They have officially confirmed now that there will be a reveal for Pokemon Legends EA, a new reveal, a new trailer in regards to Malamar happening next week. Here's where it says that's from Cerebi, saying, Cerebi update. It has been confirmed that a special celebration of Malamar will appear on the Pokemon socials at 1:00 UTC on Wednesday, September the 10th. Was that my phone? That was my phone. Either way, will happen on Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. So yes, basically they more or less confirmed that there's going to be an official trailer next week on the 10th of September. That's a Wednesday when we're going to be getting ourselves an actual reveal for Mega Malamar. Now, I thought it was going to happen today, because that's normally what they do, is that they'll kind of announce it and then it will happen like the next day. This time they're waiting until the next week. Maybe that's to drag it out a little bit so they don't have to reveal too many Megas, because I'm betting they don't want to reveal all like 26 or so that they have in this game, plus whatever else we do not maybe know. But essentially, it's confirmed now. Yes, there's going to be a reveal. Literally, it's going to be confirmed. A special celebration of Malamar will appear on the Pokemon socials at this time on September the 10th next week, which is when I'm going to be in Sweden. So I'm going to be streaming it for you guys from a different location than normal, which hopefully you guys will be fine with that. But that's that. And then you guys can see also Central says, looks like the next video about Malamar will be published next Wednesday. No new Mega this week, which makes sense. Like, I mean, expecting them to do one every single time is a little ridiculous. And speaking of Centro, he also shared that something interesting, which is, seems like game key cards will be unavoidable throughout the whole Switch 2 generation for games ported from PS5 and Switch 2 cartridges. They're just too slow compared to the console internal memory. So speeds here, PS5 SSD, 5.5 gigabytes per second. Xbox Series X SSD is 2.4 gigs. And then Switch internal, you guys can see right here, the internal storage, 16.6. Game card at 24.7, and then you guys can see here like the the different SanDisk SD cards, what they all sort of run at, which is interesting that I don't know what exactly like how the big difference is based on this. Like Switch to internal storage, 2.1 gigs. Okay, there it is per second. And micro SD Express 900 to 800, with the game cartridge being at only 400 megabytes, which is really weird, man, that they haven't optimized that to be faster. But then again, I am not a game developer, so I'm not a console developer, so I'm not going to be sitting here and telling you that they're doing something wrong, or I know better, or I know what they should have done. It's at the end of the day, it's game development. It's hardware development. It's something that it's up to them to figure out. If they screw it up, then people can just go somewhere else and get something else. If they get it right, then perfect, we're all happy. But here's the reality. The world is never perfect. There's always going to be some issues. In this case, this is a minimal issue to deal with, to be honest. Though I do kind of prefer if we would, lean more towards like still using like actual cartridges rather than doing for the key cards, that you just buy essentially an empty box. Like, it's like one game I got for the Switch 2 that was just an empty box. And I didn't realize it because they do say it at the bottom, but it's like fine print, and I didn't look at it. I'm so used to just grabbing the game I want, and that's it. Assuming I'm gonna have like there's gonna be an actual game there, but there wasn't. It was just literally a piece of paper with a code on it, which is, no offense, but one of the lamest things ever. I think it's just really, really lame. But it is what it is. What can you do? But the next thing, though, guys, which is also a reason to get excited for next week or the week after that, we don't really know, but based on this would probably be next week. So next week's going to be hype for everything to do with Nintendo and Pokemon, because they say here, Nate the Hate has confirmed there is a Nintendo Direct on September 11th or September the 12th. Now, this is the prediction from Stealth as to what he's expecting or predicting. He says, I'm still expecting a Mario 40th anniversary something, right? Because yes, this year apparently is the 40th anniversary of Mario, so something like that should be happening. But saying also, just because there is a general Nintendo Direct doesn't mean that this isn't happening. It's unreasonable to expect developers to do something special for every milestone, but this is one Nintendo isn't going to ignore. Now, I'm expecting if there is anything Mario, they're probably going to be just some amusement park announcements or Mario Movie 2 and, still in development. I think that was already confirmed, wasn't it? Probably just going to reconfirm that kind of stuff. And I don't really expect really anything else massive besides that. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I don't really know what else you would expect from it, to be honest with you guys. Like, that's about the extent of the things I would be able to, like, think of. But, again, I'm just a dude. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Who knows? But basically, next week, we're going to be getting a Malamar reveal, mega reveal. And if there is a Nintendo Direct, that means new games may be announced, but also we may get some more news about Pokemon Legends EA. Maybe another mega, like 2 megas in 1 week could happen. You might say, oh, it's not going to happen. But here's the thing. The last time we've had Nintendo Directs that were actual regular Direct, we have had a Pokemon reveal happen in those. It's usually small reveals, but it's still something. It's more than nothing, right? And that's the most important thing, is as long as it's more than 0, that's a good thing, okay? That's not passable. That is perfecto, okay? Because keep in mind, we've gone almost like a year and a half without any proper news, and now finally, like the month or so before the actual release of this game, like we are like a month and less than a month and a half away at this point from this game's release. Like, we are so close to Legends EA that they have to, like, get people to be hyped up, but they just took a bit too long to get to that point. So nonetheless, though, I'm still excited. I'm happy to see what they're going to be doing and what the plans are and all that kind of stuff. I'm just excited for it. But yeah, so basically, here's the summarization of news. Next week, based on the My Friend Malamar stuff, all this is so bizarre, by the way. Like, what a weird way to do promotion. Also, why does this look AI, man? Why am I going crazy? But it looks like AI. Like, I don't know why. Like, it just looks like AI, bro. Am I crazy? I think I'm crazy. I think there's just so much AI slop everywhere that, like, it makes you think that. But basically, because they're doing this whole promo, this whole thing with Malamar, it's pretty clear it's taken over people's minds, or it's like mind controlling them, or something. Is doing something to influence their minds, obviously. It's just what makes sense. So that's going to be real next week. And then on top of that, a freaking Nintendo Direct, which, like, that is a lot of news all at once, but it makes sense because next week, it's the second week of September, and there's not a lot of time left before we get into October for Legends EA. And also, remember, for Nintendo, there is no other big games right now. Silksong just released, right? Silksong was massive. I mean, not for Nintendo, but still, it's being sold on their platform, which means they do make hella money off of it. It was selling to such an extent, people were so excited for it, that it crashed Steam, and it crashed the Nintendo eShop. And I don't know about PlayStation or Xbox, but it basically crashed pretty much all platforms with how much hype there was for Silksong, which pretty much confirms to you that that was like such a big release for everyone, right? For Steam, for Nintendo, for everyone, because of how excited people were for that game. But now, there isn't really anything necessarily that massive that people are looking forward to. Like, ZA is massive for us Pokemon fans, sure, because it's a new game, but it still isn't as massive as a brand new generation or something extraordinary. It's still very minuscule in size. Not minuscule in that way, but like, it's not as big as Silksong. Like, Silksong is like, it's like if they announced Bloodborne 2, and then people would be like, Bloodborne 2? It would be crazy. But still, we need new games to be announced. We need actually new games. Donkey Kong Bonanza is already out. Mario Kart, World is already out. Like, we need something new. So this is the time to perfectly do that, which is why I'm personally excited for this Nintendo Direct, because we might actually get some good shit. We might get some news on games that have been announced, like Duskbloods, which basically is Bloodborne 2. Like, we might get some info on that kind of stuff. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, and I will see you soon, hopefully.